Chandragupta Maurya was one of the important and prominent kings, and the founder of the mighty Maurya Empire in ancient India. Under the tutelage of Chanakya, he created a new empire, built a large army, and continued expanding the boundaries, laying the foundations of the first state to unite most of India. India around 4th century BC was divided into numerous kingdoms. The supreme among them was the Magadha kingdom, which has been extended over central eastern and northeastern India. Around this time, Alexander the Great invaded India in 326 BC, and in consequences, much of northwestern India was thrown into political chaos. The Magadha ruler during these time was Dhanananda of the Nanda dynasty. He possessed a vast treasure with the large army. Chanakya was once badly insulted by Dhanananda in his royal court in front of all the courtiers. Chanakya vowed to dethrone Dhanananda at any cost. As Chanakya was passing through the forest, in search of a person who can replace Dhanananda, he saw a group of children playing a king game, and child playing the king role was Chandragupta. Chanakya took Chandragupta with him, and trained him. He was very well guided by Chanakya in branches of economics and political sciences. He raised a small army with assistance from Chanakya, and allied himself to the king of a mountain kingdom, and set out to conquer the Nanda Empire. He then began a campaign at the frontier of the Nanda Empire, gradually conquering various territories on their way to the Nanda capital. He then refined his strategy, by establishing garrisons in the conquered territories, and finally besieged the Nanda capital Pataliputra. After many attempts, he finally managed to seize the throne, putting an end to Nanda dynasty, and 20-year-old Chandragupta ascended the throne, establishing Maurya Dynasty. He is credited for unifying small independent states of India, to form a single largest kingdom for the first time under one administration, leaving aside Kalinga and the Tamil regions. After Chandragupta Maurya became the king, Chanakya became his prime minister. Chanakya used to mix a small amounts of poison in his food, so that he get used to it. One day, Queen Durdara shared the food with the king, and she was pregnant at that time. Due to poison she died, and Chanakya with his intelligence saved the child and named him Bindusara. The Indian campaign of Alexander the Great ended before Chandragupta came into power. He left India in 325 BC, and assigned the northwestern Indian to Greek governors. After the death of Alexander the Great, the eastern territories controlled by Macedonians fell into the hands of General Seleucus Nicator. Seleucus was busy at western borders, and Chandragupta found an opportunity to attack from eastern side, and captured a large portion of his kingdom. After Seleucid Maurya War, Chandragupta signed a treaty with Seleucus. As part of the treaty both rulers established borders. Chandragupta was given Punjab in return to 500 war elephants, as well as the hand of one of Seleucus's daughter, Helen, in marriage. After annexing Seleucus's provinces west of the Indus River, Chandragupta had a vast empire, extending across the northern Indian subcontinent. Chandragupta began expanding his empire south into the Deccan Plateau. With an army of 400,000, he conquered all of the Indian subcontinent, except for Kalinga and Tamil regions. By the end of his reign, Chandragupta had unified almost all of Indian subcontinent. His grandson Ashoka would go on to add Kalinga to the empire. When he was in his 50s, Chandragupta became fascinated with Jainism, an extremely ascetic belief system. His guru was the Jain Sant Bhadrabahu. The emperor renounced his rule, handing over power to his son Bindusara. He then traveled south to cave at Shravanabelagola in Karnataka. There Chandragupta meditated without eating or drinking for 5 weeks, until he died of starvation. His son Bindusara succeeded the Maurya throne.